Starseeds, you need to listen to this transmission immediately. If you have been feeling an overwhelming, unexplainable urge to cancel your plans, to stay inside, to pull away from the crowds, and simply isolate yourself in your home, do not ignore it. This is not a coincidence. This is not anxiety, and it is definitely not depression. You are receiving a direct, biological override from your galactic guides. The old 3D matrix is not just shaking anymore. It is actively collapsing. The dense, fear-based structures of this earthly plane are fracturing in real time, and the collective human field is currently flooded with panic, confusion, and heavy karmic debris. Your body, as an ultra-sensitive multidimensional antenna, is picking up on this chaotic frequency. The sudden exhaustion you feel when you step outside your door is the physical evidence of this collapse. The Arcturian Council is issuing an urgent protective protocol for all awakened starseeds. Stay at home. Retreat into your sacred space. Do not force yourself to participate in a world that is currently breaking apart. You are being called into energetic quarantine because your light is far too precious to be drained by the falling debris of the old Earth. Hear this now. Your isolation is not a weakness. It is your ultimate shield. Starseed, if this message found you today, it is not random. The Arcturian Council rarely sends transmissions like this, but something has changed in the energetic field of Earth. And those who carry the starseed frequency are beginning to feel it. I am a Xyla, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. What follows is a direct transmission from the Arcturian Council, delivered without distortion. Right now, across the globe, millions of souls are walking around in a state of deep, unconscious panic. They feel the ground shifting beneath their feet, even though they cannot see it with their physical eyes. The systems they trusted, the routines they built their entire identities upon, are beginning to crack and crumble. This is the collapse of the 3D illusion, the great dismantling of the earthly matrix that the Arcturians have spoken of for decades. But you, Starseed, you do not just see the collapse. You feel it in your bones, in your nervous system, and in the very roots of your hair. When you walk into a grocery store, a crowded street, or a workplace, you are not just walking into a room. You are walking into a battlefield of clashing frequencies. The heavy, dense energy of human fear is palpable to you. It feels like a physical weight pressing down on your chest. This is exactly why your higher self is screaming at you to stay at home. You are not losing your mind, and you are certainly not failing at life. Your physical vessel is an incredibly advanced piece of spiritual technology, and it knows exactly what to do when the external environment becomes toxic. When a storm of this magnitude hits the energetic plane, the only logical, divinely guided response is to seek shelter. The sudden desire to close your blinds, lock your doors, and retreat into the silence of your own space is a survival mechanism encoded deep within your stellar DNA. Society will try to pathologize this. The unawakened people in your life might call you antisocial. They might accuse you of hiding, of being lazy, or of running away from your responsibilities. Do not listen to their limited human judgments. They do not understand that your energy field is currently acting as a massive cosmic filter. If you force yourself to go out into the dense crowds right now, you will absorb the chaotic, terrified energy of the collective unconscious. You will come home feeling completely drained, irritable, and sick. Not because of anything you did, but because you acted as a sponge for the collapsing world around you. The Arcturian Council is asking you to stop sacrificing your vital life force to appease a society that is falling apart. You are allowed to rest. You are required to isolate. Your home is not just a building right now. It is an energetic fortress, a sacred incubator where your frequency can remain stable, while the world outside undergoes its chaotic purging. By staying home, you are not doing nothing. You are holding the light. You are maintaining a coherent frequency that is secretly stabilizing the entire planetary grid. But to do this, you must protect your own battery first. Some transmissions don't come through words. They come through frequency. If something stirred in you right now, that's not a coincidence. 4,500 people have already activated their Arcturian codes, and they wish they'd found this sooner. Arcturian Secrets. 12 Hidden Keys to Awakening is a 47-page ebook with ancient techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. Are you next? Get instant access in the first pinned comment, only 72 hours at the launch price. Do not mistake your sudden withdrawal from the world as a sign of spiritual regression. The Matrix wants you to believe that if you are not constantly producing, socializing, and engaging with the earthly drama, you are somehow failing. But the Arcturian Council reveals to you today that this intense urge to isolate is, in fact, a highly advanced cosmic defense mechanism. We call this the Arcturian Quarantine Protocol. When a planetary sphere undergoes a timeline collapse of this magnitude, the lower density structures, the societal norms, the financial illusions, the shallow social obligations, do not simply vanish quietly. They shatter. And as they shatter, they release a massive shockwave of fear, anger, and desperation into the collective energetic field. The unawakened masses, those who have anchored their entire existence and identity to this collapsing 3D illusion, are currently thrashing in the turbulent waters of change. They are terrified. Without realizing it, they are desperately reaching out for anything and anyone to stabilize them. If you, a highly empathetic and luminescent starseed, wander unprotected into this chaotic frequency, you will become their energetic anchor. They will subconsciously siphon your high vibrational plasma just to keep themselves afloat in a reality that is fundamentally sinking. You have spent lifetimes playing the savior, jumping into the freezing waters of earthly trauma to rescue those who refuse to learn how to swim. But this specific phase of the ascension timeline demands a completely different approach. You are no longer the lifeguard. You are the lighthouse. A lighthouse does not run into the storm to save the sinking ships. It stands firm on the solid rock, isolated, impenetrable, and radiates a blinding beam of light so that others may find their own way to the shore. This is why you must stay inside. Your physical isolation is the solid rock. By remaining in your sacred space, you are maintaining a pure, uncorrupted channel of light that literally holds the higher dimensional grid of this planet together. If you have been experiencing sudden, unexplainable physical symptoms, a ringing in your ears, sudden waves of exhaustion in the middle of the day, tension at the base of your neck, or a profound lack of interest in conversations and activities that used to entertain you, this is the physical manifestation of the quarantine protocol. Your DNA is actively rejecting the 3D static. Your higher self is shutting down your desire to engage with the external world because your energetic body is undergoing a massive, delicate recalibration. To upgrade your cellular structure to hold higher frequencies, the Arcturians need you to be as still as possible. You are undergoing cosmic surgery, and you cannot be wandering the noisy, chaotic halls of the Matrix while the operation is taking place. Close the door. Silence the phone. Rest in the profound knowing that your retreat is a divine assignment, not a human failure. Aqui está o tópico 3 do roteiro, Osvaldo. Neste bloco, vamos focar em aliviar a culpa que o Starseeds sente por não estar salvando o mundo e explicar que o que está desmoronando lá fora são linhas do tempo falsas, a Matrix, que não devem ser consertadas. You may be sitting in the quiet sanctuary of your home, looking out the window or scrolling through the digital illusions on your screen, and a sudden heavy wave of guilt might wash over you. Your deep, inherent starseed empathy, the very trait that defines your soul, whispers that you should be out there. It tells you that you should be helping, healing, and desperately trying to fix the mounting chaos. But the Arcturian Council brings you a harsh, yet profoundly liberating truth today. You cannot save a timeline that is divinely destined for destruction. The earthly matrix was built on a crumbling foundation of control, fear, and energetic manipulation. The collapse you are witnessing in the news, in your communities, and in the frantic eyes of the unawakened is not a tragic accident. It is a highly coordinated, divine demolition. The universe is actively tearing down these false structures so that the new earth can finally be constructed. When you leave your sacred isolation and try to intervene in the earthly drama right now, you are essentially walking into a burning building and trying to rearrange the furniture. It is a futile and dangerous use of your energy. The people who are panicking out there are, quite literally, mourning the loss of their energetic chains. They are terrified because the 3D illusions they worshipped their entire lives, superficial status, hollow connections, and the endless accumulation of material distractions, are evaporating into thin air. If you step into their chaotic field right now, they will not listen to your cosmic wisdom. They are not ready for ascension. Instead, they will instinctively try to drag you down into their panic, demanding that you use your pristine, high-frequency light to help them rebuild their broken, toxic matrix. You must absolutely refuse. The Arcturian Council strongly advises you to stop leaking your precious life force into dead timelines. The era of the sacrificial healer is officially over for you. You do not need to attend every argument or drama you are invited to. You do not need to show up to dense social gatherings that leave your soul feeling completely empty, drained, and physically sick the next day. The severe, undeniable discomfort you feel when you force yourself to participate in mundane earthly activities is your higher self violently rejecting a lower dimension. It is your soul screaming, "We do not belong here anymore." Do not let the Matrix weaponize your own beautiful empathy against you. The unawakened will try to make you feel selfish for setting strict boundaries. They will try to trigger your fear of missing out, making you feel like your isolation is a mistake. But ask yourself, what exactly are you missing? Shallow conversations that numb your brilliant mind? Environments that force you to shrink your massive aura just to make small people feel tall? You are missing absolutely nothing of actual value. The true cosmic event is happening within your own expanding consciousness. By staying home, turning inward, and holding your frequency steady, you are doing far more for the ascension of this planet than you ever could by running yourself ragged for those who choose to stay asleep. Let the old structures fall. Let the false timelines dissolve completely. Understand this deeply. Your home is no longer just a physical structure made of wood, brick, or glass. In the higher dimensions, the Galactic Federation has enveloped your living space in a profound field of plasma protection. You have been placed in a sacred incubation chamber. When you close your doors to the outside world, you are initiating a massive biological and energetic upgrade that is simply impossible to achieve while navigating the dense frequencies of the collapsing matrix. The overwhelming exhaustion that constantly pulls you toward your bed or your couch is not a sign of physical illness, and it is certainly not human depression. It is the undeniable physical evidence that your carbon-based cellular structure is currently mutating into a higher crystalline form. This cosmic surgery requires an immense amount of your body's vital energy, which is exactly why the Arcturians are forcing you to remain as still as possible. The Matrix system was meticulously designed to keep humanity in a state of perpetual, frantic motion. It demands that you constantly work, socialize, consume, and distract yourself because the architects of the 3D illusion know a profound truth. A soul in constant outward motion cannot anchor higher frequencies. By pushing you to run on their endless hamster wheel, they actively prevent your DNA from unlocking its dormant star codes. Therefore, your stillness is not laziness. Your stillness is an act of ultimate cosmic rebellion. By choosing to stay home, you are aggressively denying the Matrix the kinetic energy it needs to sustain itself, and you are redirecting all of that power inward to fuel your own ascension. Pay close attention to what your physical body is experiencing during this period of isolation. You may find yourself waking up abruptly, night after night, precisely between 3 and 4 a.m. Your heart might be racing, and your mind suddenly flooded with fragments of vivid, otherworldly dreams or an unexplainable sense of crystalline clarity. You are not experiencing human insomnia. You are being awakened for direct galactic briefings. In the profound silence of the night, when the frantic human collective consciousness finally quiets down, the Arcturian Council is able to transmit complex, multidimensional data directly into your crown chakra. Your biological antenna is tingling and vibrating because it is actively downloading the new blueprints for the new Earth. Do not fight this sacred incubation process. If your body suddenly demands sleep in the middle of the afternoon, you must sleep. If you feel a sudden, intense aversion to dense foods, chaotic noises, or even certain artificial lights in your own home, you must honor that heightened sensitivity. Your physical vessel is becoming a highly tuned, exquisite cosmic instrument, and it can no longer tolerate the heavy, toxic vibrations it used to accept as normal. You are metamorphosing. A caterpillar does not apologize to the forest for wrapping itself in a dark cocoon while the rest of the world continues on. It simply surrenders to the stillness, knowing with absolute certainty that the isolation is the exact mechanism required to grow its wings. Let the unawakened world rush frantically toward its own collapse. You stay inside the cocoon. You are preparing for flight. During this sacred period of isolation, you will begin to notice a profound and sometimes deeply painful phenomenon occurring in your external reality. The connections, friendships, and even lifelong family ties that once felt somewhat manageable will suddenly become unbearably heavy. You will watch as people simply fall out of your life, often with no logical earthly explanation. Messages will go unanswered, social obligations will dissolve, or in some cases, sudden explosive conflicts will arise out of nowhere, forcing an immediate and permanent separation. Your human heart, heavily conditioned by dense earthly attachments and the fear of rejection, will instinctively want to panic. It will scream that you are being abandoned, that your isolation is pushing everyone you love away, and that you are destined to end up completely alone. But the Arcturian Council urges you to look at this through the pure, unfiltered lens of multidimensional physics. You are not being abandoned. You are being energetically evacuated. Because your frequency is rapidly ascending while you rest in your protected quarantine, a massive timeline split is violently tearing through your social sphere. The people who are deeply anchored to the collapsing 3D matrix, those who refuse to do their own healing, who desperately cling to their victimhood, and who have subconsciously fed on your luminous energy for years, can no longer exist in your vibrational proximity. The universe is actively and aggressively severing these cords. If these individuals remain attached to your energetic field, they will act as heavy, karmic sandbags, inevitably dragging your ascending light back down into their sinking reality. The sudden, deafening silence from people you once fiercely loved and supported is not a punishment or a reflection of your worth. It is a highly coordinated divine intervention. Do not, under any circumstances, reach back out to them. Do not break your sacred isolation to check on souls who are absolutely committed to misunderstanding your frequency. When you try to force a connection that the Galactic Federation has explicitly and carefully severed, you are quite literally reaching your hand back into a burning building. You will only get burned. The dense, chaotic, fear-based energy they are currently swimming in will immediately shock your highly sensitive, upgrading nervous system, completely scrambling the new codes you have just downloaded. You may mourn the loss of these 3D attachments if your human heart needs to, but do not ever mistake the clearing of your field for a cosmic tragedy. The universe is emptying your immediate orbit with brutal, surgical precision because you are about to receive a massive influx of high-frequency soul tribe members. These are beings who will recognize your light, match your vibration, and never require you to shrink. But these new, elevated galactic connections absolutely cannot land in your reality if your energetic space is still cluttered with the heavy, toxic debris of unawakened people. Your current physical isolation is the profound, necessary emptiness before the cosmic dawn. You must become completely, unapologetically comfortable in the majestic silence of your own company. You are not losing your circle. You are outgrowing it at light speed. Let them stay in their collapsing matrix. Your trajectory is aimed entirely at the stars. As you sit in the apparent silence of your isolated space, Your human mind might attempt to convince you that you are doing absolutely nothing of importance. The collapsing matrix has conditioned you to equate your spiritual worth with visible, outward action. It demands that you constantly prove your value through movement, struggle, and sacrifice. But the Arcturian Council asks you to completely dismantle this 3D lie right now. You are not hiding from the world. You are silently, actively anchoring the profound frequencies of the new Earth. Imagine your home, your quiet room, as a massive glowing tuning fork struck by the hand of the Galactic Federation. Every single second you remain in your protected quarantine, you are emitting a pure, unbroken frequency that ripples out across the chaotic planetary grid. You are a living, breathing frequency stabilizer. While the unawakened masses run frantically through the collapsing earthly structures, screaming at the crumbling walls and fighting over the remaining scraps of a dying illusion, you are holding the exact vibrational coordinates of the new dimension. This is the monumental mission you signed up for eons ago. You did not incarnate on Earth during this chaotic transition to fight the Matrix on its own dense, aggressive terms. You came here to render the old Matrix entirely obsolete, simply by existing at a frequency it cannot possibly touch. When you choose to stay inside, to rest, to meditate, to simply breathe, and to honor your extreme sensitivity, you are literally pulling down the crystalline codes of the fifth dimension and embedding them into the energy field of this planet. Your physical body is acting as a massive cosmic lightning rod. The intense planetary shifts occurring right now, the solar flares, the dramatic fluctuations in the Schumann resonance, the bizarre societal anomalies, and the undeniable collapse of ancient institutions, are all absolute proof that the old Earth is undergoing its final necessary death throes. It is a messy, loud, and terrified process for those who do not understand the cosmic timeline. But you are a starseed. You possess the ancient blueprints. You know that destruction is merely the prerequisite for creation. If you step outside and immerse yourself in the collective panic right now, you risk scrambling the very pure frequencies you are here to transmit. The universe does not need you to be a warrior on the dense, bloody front lines of the 3D chaos. It desperately needs you to be the unshakable pillar of light safely guarded behind closed doors. Do not let temporary human boredom or the lingering societal guilt trick you into abandoning your post. The silence in your home is not empty. It is fiercely alive with galactic transmissions. You are currently surrounded by your Arcturian guides, who are tirelessly working in your energetic field while you rest. They are rewiring your nervous system to hold an immense capacity for unconditional love, multidimensional sight, and rapid manifestation. You are literally incubating the frequency of miracles. Stay inside. Hold the line. The absolute best thing you can do for the terrified, collapsing world outside is to fiercely protect the profound peace you are cultivating inside. The Arcturian Council wants you to deeply understand that this divine quarantine will not last forever. You are not meant to live the rest of your earthly incarnation in complete isolation. You are simply waiting for the dense, chaotic dust of the collapsing 3D matrix to finally settle. Right now, the storm outside is raging at its absolute peak, and your only job is to remain safely within your cocoon, fiercely protecting the massive biological and spiritual upgrades occurring within your cellular structure. But there will come a precise, divinely orchestrated moment when the energetic atmosphere of this planet clears. The heavy, fear-based static that currently makes the outside world feel so incredibly toxic to your nervous system will dissipate, replaced by the crystalline frequencies of the new Earth that you quietly helped anchor while you were in hiding. When that sacred moment arrives, you will feel a sudden, undeniable cosmic pull to open your doors and step back out into the world. But hear this profound truth. The person who emerges from that sanctuary will not be the same exhausted, drained, and overly empathetic starseed who retreated into it. You will walk out with the absolute, unshakable sovereign authority of a galactic master. The people who mocked your isolation, who judged your boundaries, and who tried to make you feel guilty for pulling your energy back, will look at you with profound, undeniable awe. They will see you standing tall, radiant, and completely untouched by the collapse that nearly destroyed their false realities. They will wonder how you navigated the chaos with such effortless grace, completely unaware that you were being heavily guarded and upgraded by the Galactic Federation the entire time. You will no longer feel the desperate, heavy need to save them. You will no longer shrink your massive, multi-dimensional aura to make unawakened souls feel comfortable in your presence. You will finally understand that your mere existence, your stabilized, high-frequency vibration, is the greatest healing you could ever offer this planet. You are stepping into a timeline of unimaginable cosmic abundance, where your energetic boundaries are completely impenetrable, and your manifestations materialize almost instantly. The universe cleared your social circle, emptied your calendar, and forced you into this sacred isolation not to punish you, but to prepare you for the absolute magnitude of what is coming next. The old Earth is officially collapsing. Welcome to the dawn of your sovereign empire. Before this transmission concludes, we must lock this high-frequency code into your physical timeline. Drop the word Anchor in the comments below to let the Arcturian Council know you are holding the light in your sector. Reply to another Starseeds comment to strengthen our invisible, multidimensional grid of protection. If this message brought you the exact validation your soul was desperately crying out for today, you must hit the like button and subscribe to this channel immediately. The Matrix desperately wants you to feel crazy and alone, but we are building an unstoppable galactic family right here. Stay inside, hold your frequency, and prepare for the new dawn. Fixed ebook CTA. Some transmissions don't come through words, they come through frequency. If something stirred in you right now, that's not a coincidence. 4,500 people have already activated their Arcturian codes, and they wish they'd found this sooner. Arcturian Secrets. 12. Hidden Keys to Awakening is a 47-page ebook with ancient techniques for conscious expansion, multi-dimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. Are you next? Get instant access in the first pinned comment. Only 72 hours at the launch price.